Well, hello. In this video, we'll see about activity and life cycle. So first of all, what is activity? An activity is an Android component that provides a screen in application's user interface with which user can interact to do something, whatever he wants, right? For example, we see different kind of screens like login screen, sign up screen, dashboard, and many more, right? To create those screens, we use the support of activity, right? So then what is life cycle of activity? So every activity has a life cycle which is controlled with different methods defined in Android, right? So let's first of all see those methods. What are the methods? Here are the methods the activity has. So whenever we open an application and the first activity is called, so the first and the foremost method is called onStart, right? Then after onStart, an onCreate method is called. Then suppose we close our application and we don't close it totally, we just uh, tap the home button and get out of the application. What happens then is on resume method, on pause method is called. And when we open our application from background running application list, on resume method is called. Now when we close our application totally, it is not running in background either, we close it totally, on stop method is called. So that is how these methods works, right? That was just an example, that is not an exact theory, and do not worry, it will be easy for you when you understand how an activity works on Android. And if you don't get this, do not worry, practical implementation is way much easier than theory. That is why I'm not going to go deeper in theory. If you still want to refer theories, you can always refer to developer.android website, which is an official website for Android, right? So how do we create an activity in Android? So basically there are two methods, and before that, every activity will have two files. One is XML, which will contain uh, design files, right? You're designing XML file. And two is the Java or Kotlin file, whatever you choose, which will handle all the programming, right? So now there are two methods with which you can create activity. One is we right click on the package here and go to new and write down here activity. You can create whatever kind of activity we want: navigation drawer, basic, full screen activity, tagged activity, scrolling activity, login activity, settings, and that's how you can create. I'm just going to go with anti activity. Click on that and we'll just name our activity like sample activity. I don't want to at the end. So what will happen? It will create a Java class named sample activity, and it will create a layout file, XML file. Right? Now what is this launcher activity here? If I click launcher activity, then whenever we'll open our application, the first activity will be open is this activity, right? So I'm not gonna go for that right now. So, and when you click finish at the end, an activity will be created. That means two files, there is a sample.java, sample activity.java, and activity sample.xml file will be created. Right now, an important thing that I want to tell you about launcher activity. When we go to manifest file, we have to declare activity. Right now, if you choose this method of to create an activity will be automatically added in the manifest file. Now if I want to make this activity a launcher activity, that I want this activity to be called whenever I open an application, right? So what can I do? That this intent filter has two subtext. One is action, that is a main thread, and a category, which is a launcher thread. What happens if I cut this and put this inside the sample activity tag? Now the sample activity will be called first. It will become a launcher activity, right? Now if I remove this from here and paste it back in the main activity tag, now again main activity will be the launcher activity of our application. Now what happens if we don't have this intent filter? You cannot run this application. You have to have your launcher activity defined in the manifest file. You can see a red cross on here. That means we don't have, there's something wrong with this project. What is wrong with this project? That is, we don't have a launcher activity. So we have to add this intent filter right here, right? So there is the second way to create activity. You create this both XML and Java files manually. So let's create a new layout resource file, and I'll name it second, right? Just a second, whatever name you want. Now we have XML. Now we can create a Java class for that as well. I'll name it second TBD, whatever the name you like, right? Now the class is created, but at this moment this class is not an activity. As you can see, this activity extends the class AppCompact activity. So we have to extend this class, AppCompact activity. Now still this class has become an activity, but it will not do anything. It will not show the second.xml design whenever this activity is called. To do that, we have to call onCreate method, right? Public void onCreate method. Now as we can see, we have to call this setContentView method. So we don't need this persistent bundle state. No, we don't need this for the moment, right? And now set content view will be r.layout.second, right? Resource, what this lines means, that r means resource folder, inside that layout folder, and inside that the file's name, right? So what happens here, we set the view to this Java file. We set this view to this Java file, right? So this is how you create an activity manually. But when you open a manifest, you cannot see your second activity here because we created this manually. So we have to add it manually, right? How you would do this? So put your cursor here and press this light bulb, yellow bulb, and add activity to manifest. Now if you go to manifest, we'll see the activity is added here, right? So this is how you create an activity, and in the next lecture we'll see about intents, right? So that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.